The awakening of a new era. In a world buzzing with anticipation, Lyra stood at the edge of the bustling spaceport on Earth, her heart racing with excitement. The air was thick with the scent of fuel and metal as ships of various shapes and sizes prepared for takeoff. Humanity had finally reached a point where interstellar travel was not just a dream but a reality, and Lyra was determined to be part of it. As an engineer, she had always been fascinated by technology and its potential to change lives. Today was special. She was about to unveil her latest project, a prototype ship designed to explore beyond known space. With its sleek design and advanced propulsion system, it represented years of hard work and dedication. But it was not just about engineering, it was about exploring the unknown. Lyra glanced at her team gathered around her prototype, their faces filled with pride and hope. "Today marks a new beginning," she declared, her voice steady despite her nerves. "We are not just building ships, we are building bridges to other worlds." The crowd erupted in cheers as they prepared for the launch ceremony. However, amidst the excitement, Lyra felt an inexplicable pull towards an old storage facility nearby, a place rumored to house relics from humanity's early attempts at space exploration. Curiosity piqued, she slipped away from her team and made her way toward the facility. Dust motes danced in the sunlight filtering through cracked windows as she entered. The air was stale, filled with memories of past ambitions. As she navigated through rows of forgotten equipment, something caught her eye, a glimmering object half buried under debris. Kneeling down, Lyra brushed off layers of dust to reveal an intricately designed artifact that seemed out of place among the mundane tools surrounding it. It was unlike anything she had ever seen, its surface shimmered with colors that shifted as light hit it at different angles. "What are you?" she whispered to herself in awe. As she examined it more closely, she felt a surge of energy coursing through her fingertips when she touched its surface. Images flashed before her eyes, visions of distant stars, complex machinery, and beings that transcended time and space. It was as if the artifact was alive, communicating secrets long buried beneath layers of time. Realizing its potential could change everything for humanity, Lyra carefully wrapped it in her jacket and made her way back to her team just as they were about to launch their ship. Her mind raced with possibilities. This could be humanity's ticket to understanding not just their place in the universe but also their purpose within it. The launch proceeded flawlessly, cheers echoed through the air as their ship soared into the sky. But Lyra's thoughts were elsewhere, focused on the artifact now hidden safely in her quarters. She knew this discovery could lead them into uncharted territories both literally and metaphorically. Days turned into weeks as Lyra worked tirelessly alongside scientists and engineers to analyze the artifact's properties. They discovered that it contained vast amounts of data, information about advanced technologies that could revolutionize their understanding of physics and engineering. However, not everyone shared Lyra's enthusiasm for this discovery. Within governmental circles, whispers began circulating about potential threats posed by such knowledge falling into the wrong hands, especially given humanity's recent history with conflict among themselves. Despite these concerns, Lyra remained resolute in her belief that knowledge should be shared rather than hoarded. She envisioned a future where humans could collaborate with other species across galaxies, learning from each other instead of competing for dominance. One evening while working late in her lab, Lyra received an unexpected visitor. A holographic projection flickered to life before her eyes, revealing Jorik, an elder representative from one of the most advanced alien races known as Zenthari. "Lyra," he began with a voice that resonated wisdom and authority. "I have come seeking your counsel regarding this artifact." Surprised yet intrigued by his presence, Lyra nodded slowly as she gestured for him to continue. "It holds great power," Jorik explained gravely. "But power can corrupt those who do not understand its true nature." Lyra felt a chill run down her spine at his words but remained steadfast in her belief that cooperation could lead them toward enlightenment rather than destruction. Together they discussed how best to approach this newfound knowledge, whether to share it openly or keep it guarded until they understood more about its implications. As dawn broke over Earth's horizon that day, Lyra knew one thing for certain: humanity stood on the brink of something extraordinary, a journey that would forever change their destiny among stars yet unseen. With renewed determination fueling her spirit like never before, she vowed not only to protect this knowledge but also ensure that when they ventured into unknown realms together with others across galaxies, they would do so united by curiosity rather than fear. Thus began humanity's unstoppable rise, a transformation rooted deeply within ordinary hearts striving towards legendary heights among endless possibilities waiting just beyond reach. The Council of Species. As the days passed since Lyra's discovery of the artifact, the news spread like wildfire across the galaxy. Representatives from various species began to take notice, and soon, a council was called to discuss the implications of this newfound knowledge. The Galactic Council, a governing body composed of diverse alien species, was set to convene in their grand headquarters, a magnificent space station orbiting a vibrant blue planet known as Zenthra. The council chamber was a sight to behold. Its walls shimmered with iridescent colors, reflecting the unique cultures of its members. Each species had contributed to the design, creating a harmonious blend of technology and artistry. As Lyra entered the chamber alongside Jorik, she felt a mix of excitement and trepidation. This was her chance to represent humanity on a galactic stage. Jorik, with his crystalline form glimmering in the ambient light, turned to her. "Remember, Lyra, this is not just about us. It's about how we can contribute to the greater good of all species." Lyra nodded, absorbing his words. She had spent countless hours studying interspecies relations and knew that cooperation was essential for progress. The chamber filled with representatives from various races, some towering and imposing, others small and delicate, each bringing their own perspectives and concerns. As the meeting commenced, the first speaker, a dignified being named Elther from the Luminar race, addressed the assembly. "We gather today to discuss the implications of humanity's discovery," he began, his voice resonating through the chamber. "This artifact could hold secrets that may benefit us all or pose threats we cannot yet comprehend." Lyra listened intently as representatives voiced their opinions. Some were eager to explore the potential benefits of collaboration with humanity, while others expressed skepticism about human intentions. A heated debate erupted between factions advocating for openness versus those urging caution. In the midst of this chaos, Lyra stood up, her heart pounding in her chest. "If I may," she said, her voice steady despite her nerves. "The artifact represents an opportunity for all of us to learn and grow together. Humanity has faced challenges throughout our history, conflict, division, but we have always emerged stronger through cooperation." A murmur spread through the chamber as representatives considered her words. Jorik nodded approvingly from his seat. "Your species has shown resilience," chimed in Vekker, a representative from the Dracona system known for their fierce independence. "But can you guarantee that your ambitions won't lead to conflict?" Lyra took a deep breath before responding. "We cannot promise that there will never be disagreements, however, we can commit to open dialogue and mutual respect. We believe that understanding each other's strengths can lead us toward solutions rather than conflict." The discussion continued for hours, with Lyra passionately advocating for collaboration while addressing concerns raised by other species. She shared stories of humanity's journey, how they had learned from their mistakes and evolved into a society that valued peace alongside strength. As the sun dipped below Zenthra's horizon outside the chamber's transparent walls, an air of resolve began to settle among the representatives. They realized that while differences existed among them, they also shared common goals: knowledge, growth, and survival. Finally, Elther called for a vote on whether to pursue joint exploration missions utilizing the knowledge contained within the artifact. The room fell silent as each representative cast their vote electronically. When the results were announced, overwhelmingly in favor of collaboration, cheers erupted throughout the chamber. Lyra felt a surge of hope. This was just the beginning. As discussions transitioned towards logistics and planning for future missions, Lyra felt a sense of camaraderie developing among members who had once viewed each other with suspicion. They were no longer just representatives of their species, they were pioneers embarking on an unprecedented journey together. Days turned into weeks as preparations for joint expeditions took shape. Crews from different species began training together aboard ships designed collaboratively using technology from all member races. Lyra found herself working closely with scientists and engineers from various backgrounds, each contributing unique insights that enriched their understanding. One evening during training exercises aboard one such ship, the newly commissioned starship, Unity, Lyra found herself paired with Kellen, a daring pilot from Earth known for his adventurous spirit. Ready for some fun? Kellen grinned as he adjusted controls in the cockpit. Always, Lyra replied with enthusiasm. As they soared through simulated asteroid fields and navigated complex maneuvers together, Lyra felt exhilarated by Kellen's skillful piloting and quick thinking under pressure. Their teamwork was seamless, a testament to what could be achieved when individuals united towards a common goal. After several successful simulations, Kellen turned to her with an earnest expression. "You know," he said thoughtfully, "this feels different than anything we've done before." "What do you mean?" Lyra asked curiously. "I mean, it feels like we're not just preparing for exploration, we're building something bigger than ourselves, a legacy," he explained. Lyra smiled at his words. She felt it too, the weight of responsibility mixed with hope as they prepared to venture into unknown territories together. Meanwhile, back at the Galactic Council headquarters, discussions continued regarding potential destinations for their first joint mission. The excitement was palpable as representatives shared ideas about unexplored planets rumored to hold ancient civilizations or rare resources that could benefit all species involved. However, not everyone was pleased with this newfound collaboration. Whispers of dissent began circulating among factions who believed humanity should be kept at arm's length, fearful that their ambition might disrupt long-standing power dynamics within galactic politics. Tension simmered beneath the surface as some representatives questioned whether humans could truly be trusted after centuries marked by war and conquest on their home planet. Despite these challenges ahead, Lyra remained steadfast in her belief that unity could overcome division if nurtured carefully through understanding and respect. As preparations continued for their maiden voyage into uncharted space, a journey that would forever change perceptions about humanity, the council members gathered once more in anticipation of what lay ahead. With each passing day leading up to departure day filled with excitement mingled with apprehension, the galaxy held its breath waiting for this momentous occasion where ordinary beings would rise together towards legendary heights beyond imagination. The first expedition. With the Galactic Council's decision to embark on a joint exploration mission, excitement buzzed through the air like electricity. The day had finally arrived for the first expedition, and Lyra stood on the observation deck of the starship, Unity, gazing out at the vastness of space. The ship was a marvel of engineering, a fusion of technologies from various species, and it felt alive with potential. As she watched the stars twinkle against the backdrop of the cosmos, Kellen approached her, his expression a mix of determination and thrill. "Are you ready for this?" he asked, leaning against the railing beside her. Lyra turned to him, her heart racing. "I've never been more ready. This is what we've worked towards, a chance to explore the unknown together." Kellen nodded, his eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. "Let's make history." The crew had been assembled from multiple species, each bringing unique skills and perspectives. There were engineers from Earth, navigators from Zenthari, and scientists from Luminar, all united by a shared goal. As they prepared for departure, Lyra felt a sense of camaraderie that transcended their differences. The captain of Unity, a seasoned pilot named Captain Theric from the Draconis system, gathered everyone in the main briefing room. His presence commanded respect, his scales glimmered under the ship's lights as he addressed the crew. "Welcome aboard," he began, his voice deep and resonant. "Today marks a new chapter for all species represented here. We are not just explorers, we are ambassadors of peace and cooperation. A ripple of excitement passed through the room as Captain Theric outlined their mission, to travel to an uncharted planet located near the galactic core, rumored to hold ancient ruins that could provide insights into long-lost civilizations. Remember, he continued, this journey is not without risks. We must work together and rely on each other's strengths to overcome any challenges we may face. With that, Lyra felt a surge of pride. They were embarking on an adventure that could reshape their understanding of the galaxy, and perhaps even their place within it. As Unity prepared for launch, Lyra took her position at the engineering console alongside her fellow engineers. The hum of machinery filled the air as systems powered up and lights blinked into life. She exchanged glances with Kellen, who was stationed at the helm, ready to pilot them into the unknown. "Let's do this," he said with a grin as he initiated launch protocols. The ship trembled slightly as it lifted off from the docking bay and entered open space. Lyra felt a rush of exhilaration as they broke free from planetary gravity and soared into the vastness above. Hours passed as they traveled through space, navigating through asteroid fields and nebulas that painted vibrant colors across their viewports. The crew worked seamlessly together, humans collaborating with Zenthari navigators to chart their course while Luminar scientists analyzed data collected from nearby celestial bodies. As they approached their destination, a lush green planet surrounded by swirling clouds, Lyra marveled at its beauty. It was unlike anything she had ever seen. Vibrant flora covered its surface, hinting at potential life forms below. "Prepare for landing," Captain Theric commanded as they descended toward the planet's surface. The ship shook slightly as it touched down on solid ground. Lyra's heart raced with anticipation. This was it, the moment they had all been waiting for. Once disembarked, Lyra led a team of engineers to set up equipment while Kellen coordinated with security personnel to ensure their surroundings were safe. As they ventured further from Unity, lush vegetation surrounded them. Gigantic trees towered above while exotic flowers bloomed in every color imaginable. "Stay alert," Kellen reminded everyone as they explored this new world together. "We don't know what we might encounter." Lyra felt a sense of wonder wash over her as she examined samples of soil and plant life. The air was rich with unfamiliar scents, a mixture of sweet nectar and earthy aromas that invigorated her senses. Suddenly, one of the Luminar scientists shouted in excitement. "Over here! I think I've found something." The crew quickly gathered around him as he pointed toward an ancient structure partially hidden by foliage, a crumbling stone archway adorned with intricate carvings that hinted at a long-lost civilization. "This is incredible!" Lyra exclaimed, her eyes wide with awe. "We need to document everything." As they approached the archway cautiously, Lyra felt a shiver run down her spine. This was not just an archaeological site, it was a gateway into history itself. The team worked diligently to catalog their findings while taking care not to disturb anything that could be significant. Hours passed as they unearthed artifacts, pottery shards, tools made from unknown materials, and remnants of what appeared to be ancient writings etched into stone. "This could change everything," Kellen said breathlessly as he examined one particularly ornate piece, a small tablet inscribed with symbols that seemed to glow faintly in their presence. Lyra nodded in agreement. These discoveries held secrets waiting to be uncovered, knowledge that could bridge gaps between species and cultures across galaxies. As night fell on the planet, bioluminescent plants illuminated their surroundings in ethereal hues. The crew gathered around a makeshift campfire near Unity, sharing stories about their home worlds while marveling at how far they had come together. Who would have thought humans would be exploring alien worlds? One engineer remarked playfully. "It's just the beginning," Lyra replied confidently. "We're writing our own story now." But amidst laughter and camaraderie lay an undercurrent of tension, a reminder that not all species viewed this collaboration favorably. Whispers of dissent echoed back at home, factions skeptical about humanity's role in galactic affairs were growing louder. As they prepared for another day of exploration ahead, Lyra knew they needed to remain vigilant, not just against potential dangers lurking in this new world but also against those who might seek to undermine their efforts back home. With dreams of discovery fueling their spirits and unity guiding their actions, the crew aboard Unity stood ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead in their quest for knowledge among stars yet unseen. Shadows of conflict. As the crew of the starship Unity settled into their new surroundings on the lush planet, excitement mingled with the tension of the unknown. The discoveries they had made so far were monumental, but whispers of dissent from factions back home loomed over them like a dark cloud. Lyra felt the weight of responsibility growing heavier as she prepared for another day of exploration. A growing unease. The morning sun bathed the landscape in golden light, illuminating the vibrant flora that surrounded their camp. Lyra gathered her team for a briefing, her heart racing with anticipation. "Today, we'll continue our exploration of the ruins we found yesterday," she announced, glancing around at her fellow crew members. "We need to document everything and ensure we're respectful of this ancient civilization." Kellen stood beside her, his expression serious. "We also need to be cautious. There are rumors that not everyone is happy about our presence here, both on this planet and back home." Lyra nodded, aware that some factions viewed humanity's collaboration with other species as a threat. "We can't let fear dictate our actions," she replied firmly. "We're here to learn and share knowledge, not to conquer." As they set out toward the ruins, Lyra couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. The air was thick with tension, and every rustle in the underbrush made her heart race. She tried to focus on their mission, but unease gnawed at her. The encounter. When they reached the ancient structure, Lyra's excitement returned. The carvings on the stone were intricate and beautiful, telling stories of a civilization long gone. As they began documenting their findings, Kellen suddenly raised a hand to signal for silence. "Did you hear that?" he whispered. The crew froze, straining to listen. A low growl echoed through the trees, sending chills down Lyra's spine. Before she could react, a group of fierce-looking beings emerged from the shadows, tall and muscular with skin that shimmered like polished metal. "Who dares trespass on sacred ground?" one of them demanded, brandishing a weapon that glinted menacingly in the sunlight. Lyra stepped forward cautiously, raising her hands in a gesture of peace. "We mean no harm. We are explorers seeking to understand your history." The leader narrowed his eyes, clearly unconvinced. "You are not welcome here. Leave now or face the consequences." Kellen moved closer to Lyra, ready to defend her if necessary. "We come in peace," he reiterated firmly. "We want to learn from you and share knowledge." The tension in the air was palpable as the alien leader considered their words. After what felt like an eternity, he lowered his weapon slightly but remained wary. "You speak of peace, yet your kind has a history of conquest and destruction." Lyra felt her heart sink at his words. She knew they had much to prove. "We are not here to repeat past mistakes," she said earnestly. "We believe in cooperation and understanding." A fragile truce. After a long pause, the leader finally spoke again. "Very well. You may stay for now, but know this, if you disturb our sacred sites or disrespect our culture, you will regret it." Relief washed over Lyra as she nodded gratefully. "Thank you for allowing us this opportunity." As the alien group retreated into the forest, Kellen let out a breath he hadn't realized he was holding. "That was close," he said, shaking his head in disbelief. "Too close," Lyra agreed, her mind racing with thoughts about how fragile their situation was becoming. Back at their camp later that evening, Lyra gathered everyone around a fire to discuss what had happened. The atmosphere was tense as they recounted their encounter with the alien beings. "We need to be more cautious moving forward," Kellen suggested. "They clearly value their history and culture deeply." Lyra nodded in agreement but felt a flicker of determination ignite within her. "This is exactly why we need to continue our work here. Understanding these cultures is vital for building trust." rising tensions. As days turned into weeks on the planet, tensions continued to rise both among their crew and back home on Earth. Reports filtered in from various factions within the human hegemony expressing concern over humanity's involvement in interspecies relations. Some leaders argued that humanity should prioritize its own interests above all else, fearing that collaboration could lead to vulnerability or exploitation by other species. Meanwhile, whispers among certain council members hinted at growing distrust toward humans, fears rooted in historical conflicts that had long since faded but still lingered in collective memories. Lyra found herself caught between two worlds, the desire for cooperation and understanding clashing with fears rooted deep within both humans and aliens alike. A call for unity. One evening after another long day of exploration and documentation, Lyra gathered her team once more around the fire, a ritual they had come to cherish amidst uncertainty. "We've faced challenges together," she began earnestly as flames flickered against their faces. "But we cannot let fear dictate our actions or define who we are as explorers." Kellen nodded vigorously beside her while others murmured their agreement. "We must demonstrate through our actions that we are worthy allies," Lyra continued passionately. "Let's show them that humanity has changed, that we can learn from our past mistakes and build a better future together." Her words resonated deeply within each member present. They understood what was at stake, not just for themselves but for all species involved in this unprecedented journey toward unity among stars yet unseen. As night enveloped them beneath a blanket of stars twinkling overhead, each one representing endless possibilities waiting just beyond reach, the crew aboard Unity vowed not only to explore new worlds but also forge connections built upon trust rather than fear. With renewed determination fueling their spirits like never before, they stood ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead in pursuit of knowledge among galaxies waiting patiently for those brave enough to seek them out. Bonds beyond stars. In the aftermath of their encounter with the guardians of the ancient ruins, the crew of Unity found themselves at a crossroads. The fragile truce they had established with the alien beings weighed heavily on their minds as they continued their exploration of the planet. Lyra felt a sense of urgency to deepen their understanding of this new world and its inhabitants, knowing that their future depended on building trust. A new day, a new opportunity. The next morning, Lyra gathered her team for a briefing. The sun rose over the horizon, casting a warm glow across the landscape. "Today, we have an opportunity to engage with the local inhabitants," she announced, her voice filled with determination. "We need to learn about their culture and history if we want to foster a lasting relationship." Kellen, ever the adventurous spirit, chimed in. "I can lead a small team to meet them. We should show them we come in peace and want to understand their ways." Lyra nodded, appreciating Kellen's enthusiasm. "That sounds like a great idea. Let's approach this with respect and openness." As they prepared for the meeting, Lyra couldn't shake the feeling that this was a pivotal moment for humanity's future in the galaxy. They were not just explorers, they were ambassadors of a new era, one defined by cooperation rather than conflict. The meeting. The crew approached the designated meeting spot, a clearing surrounded by towering trees adorned with vibrant flowers. As they arrived, Lyra spotted several members of the alien race waiting for them, their crystalline forms glistening in the sunlight. "Welcome," said the leader from their previous encounter, his voice resonating with authority. "You have come to learn about our people?" Lyra stepped forward, her heart racing but her resolve firm. "Yes, we wish to understand your culture and history better. We want to build a relationship based on mutual respect." The alien leader regarded her intently before nodding slowly. "Very well. We will share our stories." As they sat together in a circle, the alien began recounting tales of their ancestors, how they had once thrived on this planet before facing challenges that nearly led to their extinction. Their stories were rich with lessons about resilience and adaptation, themes that resonated deeply with Lyra and her crew. Kellen listened intently, captivated by the wisdom shared by these beings who had faced adversity yet emerged stronger. "Your history is inspiring," he remarked after a particularly poignant tale. "It shows how we can learn from our past to build a better future." Building trust. Over the next few days, Lyra's team continued to engage with the aliens, learning about their customs and traditions. They participated in rituals that celebrated harmony with nature and exchanged knowledge about technology and science. One evening, as they gathered around a fire beneath a starlit sky, Lyra shared stories of humanity's journey, its struggles and triumphs. She spoke of how humans had learned from their mistakes and sought redemption through cooperation. The aliens listened intently, intrigued by the complexities of human nature. "You have faced darkness within yourselves," one of them observed thoughtfully. "Yet you strive for light." Lyra nodded solemnly. "We are not perfect, but we believe in growth and change. That's why we're here, to learn from each other." As trust grew between them, Lyra felt an overwhelming sense of hope. This was more than just an expedition, it was a chance to redefine what it meant to be part of a galactic community. A threat emerges. However, not all was well within the galaxy. Back home on Earth, factions opposed to interspecies cooperation were gaining momentum. They viewed humanity's efforts as signs of weakness, believing that collaboration would lead to vulnerability. One evening during dinner back at camp, Kellen received troubling news through his communicator. "There are reports of protests against our mission," he said grimly. "Some groups are calling for an end to our collaboration with these aliens." Lyra felt her heart sink at his words. "We can't let fear dictate our actions," she replied firmly. "We must continue to demonstrate that unity is our strength." But as tensions rose back home, so too did concerns among their new allies on the planet. The alien leader approached Lyra one day with visible worry etched across his crystalline features. "We have heard whispers of discontent among your people," he stated cautiously. "Will this affect our relationship?" Lyra took a deep breath before responding. "We are committed to building trust between our species," she assured him. "But we must also confront those who seek division. A plan for unity." Determined not to let fear undermine their progress, Lyra proposed a plan during one of their meetings with both humans and aliens present. "We should hold an interspecies summit," she suggested passionately. "A gathering where representatives from both sides can share ideas and strengthen our bonds publicly." Kellen nodded enthusiastically beside her. "It could showcase our commitment to cooperation and demonstrate that we stand united against those who fear change." The alien leader considered this idea carefully before agreeing. "It will require courage from both sides," he warned. "We're ready for it," Lyra replied confidently. As plans for the summit began taking shape, excitement filled the air among both crews. This event would serve as a testament to their shared journey toward unity. Preparing for challenges. However, preparations were not without challenges. Organizing such an event required careful coordination between species with differing customs and communication styles. Lyra worked tirelessly alongside her team and alien counterparts, navigating cultural nuances while ensuring every detail was accounted for. As they finalized arrangements leading up to the summit day itself, decorations adorned with symbols representing both cultures hung proudly throughout their camp. A sense of anticipation grew among everyone involved. But lurking beneath this excitement lay an undercurrent of anxiety. Would they be able to convince skeptics back home? Would this summit truly unite them against those who sought division? As night fell before the summit day dawned, a blanket of stars twinkling overhead, Lyra found herself reflecting on how far they had come together, ordinary beings striving toward legendary heights among endless possibilities waiting just beyond reach. With hope guiding them forward, the crew aboard Unity stood ready not only for exploration but also for forging connections that could change everything.